Hey there, it's 5 Minute Friday. I'm a little bit late today. And by the way, does consistency matter with this? Like, do you want me to come in live at a certain time, or are most of you just watching the replay so it doesn't matter? I would love to know that, so I'm serving you. So, today we're going to talk about what to do when the mean girls attack. But before we dive in, I just want to have a quick little reminder here that if you have not yet taken the Mom Life Challenge, go ahead and do that. It is a fun 3-day challenge that's going to kickstart the habits you need to create a mom life you absolutely love. And you can sign up at youridealmomlife.com/momlifechallenge. Okay, so speaking of mom life, I want to talk about Mean Girls today. And I think most of us thought that when we became adults, we left behind all of that petty stuff we experienced when we were teenage girls. You know what I'm talking about, like the catfighting, the drama, just like the pettiness, right, of being an adolescent that tends to come along with being an adolescent. But I think most of us thought, when I became a grown-up, I'm gonna leave all that behind. And then we became moms and we realized that in theory we're all adults, but sometimes we act like we're still in high school. So really recently, I had an experience with a grown-up who was mean to me on purpose, basically kind of hiding behind the internet. She harshly rated something that I created and didn't really leave me any feedback or tell me why or the basis for her opinion. And it's sort of hurt. And it kind of reminded me for a second there that the mean girls are still around and they are still mean. So what do you do when that happens to you? Because let's be honest, of course it's gonna. And when it does happen to you, how do you set that example for your kids? So I dive into this really deeply in my next podcast episode, which will drop on Wednesday of next week. But really quickly, since it's a 5-Minute Friday, I'm just gonna tell you the 3 things that my run-ins with the mean girls have taught me. And number 1 is to experience your feelings. Let's be real. It does not feel good when someone's mean to you, and that's okay. It's okay to admit that to yourself. So for my part, when this happened to me, I spent a few hours kind of wallowing in I'm not good enough, people don't like me, why am I even trying? And really allowed myself to feel that, hi Laura, oh, look at you looking at me. Maybe this is a good time. Maybe this is better than 11:30. Anyway, I digress. I really allowed myself to feel the hurt and the anger and sort of rejection that came along with that. And then, like everything else, you have a choice. So you get to decide how long you're going to experience that feeling. I think experience it fully and then let it go. So that's number 1. Number 2 is find the lesson. There's a lesson in every experience. And I know it sounds cliche, but it's true. And you need to do that not only for you, but also for your kids, for when this happens to them. Because, by the way, of course it's going to happen to them. So I learned many things, the biggest of which is that I shouldn't be making up a story in my head about why people do the things they do. So when people don't call you back, when they give you a bad rating, when they unfriend you or unfollow you, don't you think for 1 second that you actually know why. It probably has nothing to do with you. So just remember that. And second, most importantly, I learned that I've probably been the mean girl to someone else. And I'd venture to say, so have you. So next time you're tempted to dish it out, remember what it feels like to be on the receiving end. I know that I definitely will. And the third thing I learned is that you gotta give yourself the win, you know? Just like there's a lesson in every experience, there's also a win, almost always, in every bad experience. There's something for you to create out of that and make it good. And in my case, it turned into a bunch of content. So I wrote a blog post, I did a podcast episode, I'm doing a 5-Minute Friday with you, and that's good stuff that came from that. Also, just remember that when you're putting yourself out there, it's hard. It is not easy to show up day after day or week after week and put yourself out there for the world to trample on your heart. But keep doing it. Give yourself the win. Be proud of what you're creating, of who you are, and remember that no one can take that away from you. None of this changes your future or who you're going to be. So that is my advice on this 5-Minute Friday. If you want to hear more, tune into my podcast episode on Wednesday. I dive a lot deeper, and I will also be publishing a post for those of you who prefer to read. I hope you have an awesome weekend, and I will see you will I see you next Friday? I'll see you next week, maybe. I don't know, it's Black Friday. I might do it. I'll post either way. Bye.